Villain Saga. D tier. Just kidding, just kidding. Please don't touch me. Hey yo weebs, what's up? How are you guys doing? I hope you're doing well. So coffee is running through my veins now cause I've finished almost 30 animes of spring season, all of this just to make this single freaking video. And I'm absolutely not proud of myself. Well, why should I be? I mean, I haven't touched grass or felt sunless on my skin for God knows how many days. 12 months. To watch some Japanese cartoon. So first thing first, let's adjust the elephant in the room. And yeah, Oshinoko is there. So the first episode of Oshinoko gives me the vibes of Where's Me Pun Pun. Thanks for giving me another sky, by the way. Thank you so much, Japan. Arigato gozaimasu. So I have talked about Oshinoko in several videos and I really like this show. STR just isn't high enough for this. That is how good this show actually is. Just one of the best original anime of spring season. I don't think I need to talk about this anime anymore cause I had already talked about it enough before. Moving on to the next, Dead Mount Deadplay is an isekai anime and it's just awesome. Yeah, I don't have any other words to describe it. It's just awesome and cool. I mean just lots of blood and guts coming out, cool fighting scenes, badass characters with their unique powers, which is completely different than any other isekai anime. The first episode starts with a war in a fantasy world with magic monsters and dragons and a ton of people get killed. A super villain named Corpse God in that fantasy world, who is a really powerful necromancer, gets killed by the legendary hero and gets reincarnated into our world. And then a lot of chaos happen. This anime is dark and edgy and extremely cool. A tier. Do you know the fact that badass anime characters never change their outfits or don't need to poop? A lot of really good romance anime aired this season and every one of them is really good. This anime is actually on a whole different level with its cute and wholesome characters, but it's so underrated that it feels illegal. I am talking about none other than Insomniacs After School. Nothing against Skip and Loafer, I love that series too, and I know for a lot of you that is the romance anime of spring season, but for me, that is Insomniacs After School. I mean, how can a show be this relatable and not just a story, every character feels so relatable and connected. A tier. Mobile Suit Gundam The Witch from Mercury second season is great, just one of the best installment of Gundam series. So the mobile suits are back, the Gundams are back for more destruction and chaos, and of course some of the coolest fights. Without this, Gundam series wouldn't be the same anymore, cause if it's Gundam, the story's gonna be awesome, the fights are gonna be great. Well, I haven't consumed all of the Gundams yet, but I have watched quite a few, and this new installment is just as good as its predecessors. Even better. S tier. The Cafeterias and its goddess is your ordinary Ichihiram genre anime, the same one guy and multiple girls formula with a lot of fan service. But what makes it different than any other show is the main protagonist is actually not annoying or cringe, but actually really smart and well written. Same goes for the girls too. Every female character has their own unique personality, past, problems which we can relate to, and you can't even hate one single character of this show. The story and pacing is pretty good, and for the comedy, it's also pretty good. Every single joke is funny and on point. B tier. My Home Hero had the potential to become one of the best suspense murder mystery thriller of this season, but the pacing is off, lot of plot holes, poorly written characters who are boring as fuck, and not to mention pathetic animation just didn't do any justice to its story. In my opinion, the story is really good and it had potential. It's a sheer D tier, but only because of the story, it's going to be in C tier. A Galaxy Next Door is a really good and wholesome show. The romance aspect is pretty good, but it's nothing extraordinary, and also, apart from the romance, the story feels half-baked and sometimes they didn't even bother to explain what is going on. It's B tier, just for the romance aspect. Hell's Paradise is a banger of an anime and one of the best original anime of this season. I love the first season, even though I had already finished reading the manga, so I don't think I need to talk about this show anymore than I already have. I talked about it in my recommendation video and I also made a dedicated video for it. Feel free to check it out if you are interested. I'm going to drop the link in the description, so check it out. S tier. Do you know what you should also check out? The new season of Demon Slayer. Although it's not as good as the Mugen arc or the Entertainment District arc, but hey, this new arc is still worthy enough to be in a steal. I Got a Skill in Another World and Become Unrivaled in This World is a brand new isekai anime that is following the trend of longer title isekai shows, and yeah, it's just another dumpster fire. It's just too much cringe. They should have warned us with a disclaimer before every episode that too much cringe is injurious for your mind. Detail. Don't watch this anime. Just read the title and you can predict pretty much the whole story. Just think about how many cringy stuff you can imagine. Then you should also check out That Time I Got Reincarnated into Another World as the dumbest character that ever existed in a isekai world with a smartphone with the goal of creating the biggest sham ever existed by marrying every single female characters I have met along the way, no matter if she is underage or more than 100 years old. Or you can just call it In Another World with My Smartphone Season 2. It's a series that I don't think we need another season, but we got it anyway, just like the Fast and Furious movies. And as far as the story goes, the main protagonist is just traveling from one country to another, fighting monsters and marrying the princess from each and every country he visited, and even marrying every companion he's making along the way, and making out with them. So yeah, there's nothing much to the story, but at least the waifus and fan service are good. See to it. But if you want to watch a show with complex story and deep and broken characters, then Heavenly Delusion is the perfect show for you. Every single episode is just intense and has jaw-dropping twists and turns. Especially the mystery aspect of this show is literally the best thing. Not to mention the world building is just cherry on top. This is one of the shows which made me wait for the next episode every week. S tier is where it belongs. But if you want to watch an anime with a simple story and characters, then Skip and Loafer is the best option for you. Every single episode feels like a breath of fresh air. I literally haven't enjoyed an anime this much. About a group of high school friends having fun with each other. Every single characters are just talking to each other, having fun, doing homework together, eating and having sleepovers, just an ordinary life of high school students, and it feels so wholesome. Just one of the best slice of life anime of this season, with a little hint of romance. Just another level of cute and wholesome stuff, man, hands down. Even the opening song is too good, A tier. This season of Vinland Saga has been quite a journey, and I'm really glad that I watched it as one episode every week, cause I don't have the balls to just sit down and binge the whole series all together. Every week I felt lonely and empty inside after watching this episode, cause it's just too painful and too much depressing. But yeah, this show is on a whole new level. It is too good. S tier. Kubo Won't Let Me Be Invisible is a series that should have ended during the winter season, but unfortunately after its 5th episode, the rest of the series got delayed and now we finally get to see the finale. Although I feel like I had to wait a bit too long, cause I was really enjoying it, but the wait is really worth it. It's about a middle school student named Shiraishi who is always invisible, or you can say unnoticeable, going pretty much everywhere. Even his classmates didn't notice him most of the time. That he's right there attending the class with them. Even some of them didn't even know that a guy like him actually exists. Except for this cute girl named Kubo, who always finds him no matter where he is. Everything about the series, especially the characters, are too cute that you can get diabetes watching this show. A tier. And I could say the same thing about this show called Tonikaku Kawaii. It's the second season of Tonikaku Kawaii, and it is as good as the first season. If you didn't watch the first season, I would highly recommend you to go and watch it. If you are a rom-com fan, it's about two teenagers who don't need to go to school and married, and they are living together. I guess Japanese parents don't really mind, although the main protagonist, who is underage and don't even go to school anymore, somehow has the IQ level of a NASA scientist, and his name is also NASA. Does that make any sense? Well, I don't know. But yeah, A tier. Summoned to Another World for a second time is just another garbage overpowered protagonist isekai about good versus evil. Although I had really high hopes for this when I started watching it, cause the story is pretty unique. Like the protagonist got summoned in Another World as their hero for a second time, so he is pretty familiar with this isekai world and had a pretty good idea about who is actually the main villain or the final boss. Unfortunately, with every episode, it gets shittier, D tier. Ancient Magus Bride Season 2 is even better than its first season, which I absolutely adore, but this season is on a whole another level. We get to see Chise's journey as a high school student in this season, although she has a pretty good knowledge about magic and she also lives with one of the most powerful mages, so I don't know why she needs to attend a magic school after she won against many powerful magicians and monsters in the first season. And also seeing Ainsworth as a teacher in a magic school is really cool, so yeah, 8 year. The new Konosuba is good, but it's not as good as the OG Konosuba. Don't get me wrong, I enjoyed it, but I was hoping to get the exact same vibe, craziness and fun as the OG Konosuba, but the fun part was lacking somewhere. I was really excited when I heard that a Konosuba spin-off about Megumin's past is coming, but I felt a bit disappointed because I was so hyped about it. I love the Megumin and Union duo. Watching the Crimson Demon Village doing crazy things as usual is also fun. But I feel like this show tried too hard to be funny, but often misses to hit the right mark. And seeing Megumin without her party made me realize that how much she is incomplete without her party members. And the truth is, I was also missing Kazuma, Aqua and Darkness during the whole series, so don't get your hopes up for this show cause it's a Konosuba spin-off. B tier. The legendary hero is already dead faces the same problem. The first few episodes are just too good and funny, but as the series progresses, the same kind of jokes again and again, each and every episode till the finale is just monotonous and boring. When I started watching this show, I was really enjoying it, but the same joke over and over again and way too much fan service ruins the show for me. I hate to put it in C tier, but I would recommend you to at least watch the first few episodes cause they are really good. But unlike this show, Martial Magic and Muscle as a comedy series is brilliant with every aspect of this show. The weird and unpredictable comedy always caught me off guard. It's about this overpowered dude named Mash who lives in this Hogwarts kind of world where everyone is a magician. But unlike others, he didn't have any magical powers, so he trained his body to the point he became like Saitama, but in Hogwarts. So I'm gonna say it again. This show is about Saitama, but in Hogwarts. I'm gonna say it again. This show is about Saitama, but in Hogwarts. It has really nice ring to it. I wanted to say it again. This show is about Saitama, but let's just forget about that it ever happened. 8. Kamigatsu Working for a God in a Godless World is a show I highly recommend you to just skip it. Don't watch it. Just don't ever watch it. Forget that this show ever existed unless you want to get nightmares. This show literally gave me nightmares. If you want to torture someone, for example your stepsister's boyfriend, for some obvious reasons of course, then tie him into a chair, tape his eyelashes so that he can close his eyes and make him binge off the whole series altogether. Believe me, this process works even faster than Chopper's medicine. D tier isn't low enough. Dangerous in My Heart is a really cute rom-com series about a middle schooler who I don't know why, but he resembles so much with Joe Goldberg. First, he is always thinking and talking to himself in his mind like Joe, always thinking about killing the most beautiful girl in his class. And the most important part is, he likes to eavesdrop and stare at everyone, which is, hello, way too much Joe Goldberg. Wait, is it the son of Joe Goldberg and Love Queen from season 3? Well, I don't know. But there is a slight chance that I could be wrong or maybe not. Who cares? So the show is good and the romance is really cute. It's a B tier. Just so close to be an A tier. Why Did Raeliana Ended Up at the Duke's Mansion is an isekai series that doesn't even feel like an isekai anime. But the mystery and romance aspect of this show is really where it shines the most, and the main two characters are just cherry on top. I really love the main character Raeliana. She gets reincarnated into this world and she knows what is going to happen to her in the future. She's going to get killed and she even knows who is going to kill her. Cause she knows everything before it happens, she tried to prevent it from happening to her in the hope to get a happy ending. This show is just too good. A tier. My Love Story with Yamada-kun at 11999 is a shoujo romantic drama about two gamers who fall in love with each other. It's a really cute show and I love it. One of the best romance anime of spring season. 8 tier. Kuma Kuma Kuma, I forgot how many Kuma was in its title, but yeah. That anime is about a girl who walks around wearing a bear costume is back. And yeah, if you watch the first season, it's just the same. If you like the first season, you can watch it. If you didn't, then don't. For me, I don't actually hate it, although cute girls doing cute things isn't the kind of genre I'm interested in. And also, I'd watch far better animes with the same concept, cute girls doing cute things. But I can still give it a lower B, or maybe upper C. But as of now, I am going to place it in B because it's actually far better than those animes that are currently in my C tier right now, and I don't want it to place it next to them. So yeah, period. And I don't think I need to talk about Doctor Stone Season 3 cause everyone know that it's actually good. Yeah, it's as good as its previous seasons S tier. There you go, it's my personal playlist, and if you don't agree with any of this or I miss your favorite anime, feel free to let me know in the comments down below. Thanks again Rishu for helping me make this video. So if you are still watching, thank you, take care, subscribe, peace out.